What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. We're going to continue with another grudge match, volume 16. And we're looking at two of the greatest lightweights of all times. They were both champions. And they fought one another July 12, 1948, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'll tell you, this was a grudge match. They would fight again March 5th, 1951, and April 9th and April 12th of 1955. But if you're asking me, one of the greatest grudge matches in my top 5, this is one of them. Ike Williams out of Trenton, New Jersey, and Bo Jack, Sidney Walker, out of Augusta, Georgia. Now, I want to go through their fights and their careers with you, but I want to do it right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Bo Jack, Sidney Walker, was born April 1st, 1921 in Augusta, Georgia. He died February 9th, 2000 in Augusta, Georgia. Now, Bo Jack stood 5 foot 6 inches. He weighed 126 to 147 pounds. He was managed by Joe Gorin and Chick Wiggles. Bo Jack fought in battle royals blindfolded and would be the master of the overhand and underhand shoe shine. Now, that was a trick of a trade that he learned and his skills as a shoe shine boy, which was one of his hustles. He came home one day crying to his grandmother, who was 112 years old. You see, Bo Jack had money stole from him, and he didn't stand up for himself. And his grandmother had a little plate of food waiting for him. Told him to go in the back, wash up, take off his clothes. And at that time, you didn't ask your grandmother why. You just did. And when he came out, she whipped him as hard as she possibly could. Because she said to him, no walker runs from no one. You see, Bo Jack's real name was Sidney Walker. And his grandmother raised him. She raised him to be a fighter. Not necessarily in the ring, but in life. And Bo Jack would take those skills and life lessons into the ring with him. And he would fight fighters such as Tippy Larkin, who he defeated and became champion of the world. And he would have wars with fighters such as Fritzy Zivik. Fritzy Zivik was a welterweight champion who took the title away from Henry Armstrong in 1940. Madison Square Garden, October 4th. And everyone despised Fritzy Zivik because of that. He would fight Sammy Angot. Sammy Angot would break Willie Pep's winning streak of 62 fights. He would also be the last opponent for Petey Saren's career. Petey Saren would be the featherweight champion who would lose his title to Henry Armstrong. So you see, there would be a lot of history in Madison Square Garden. But Bo Jack was most notably known for fighting two outstanding lightweights, Bob Montgomery and Ike Williams. Let's take a look at Ike Williams. Bob Montgomery, fascinating lightweight champion. Now, Ike Williams. Ike Isaiah Williams, born August 2nd, 1923, Brunswick, Georgia. He died September 5th, 1994. Ike Williams stood 5 foot 9.5 inches and he weighed 128 to 155 pounds. He would be managed by Eddie Mead. Now, Eddie Mead was the manager of the great Henry Armstrong. Eddie Mead bought out Henry Armstrong's contract from Al Jolson. But along with Eddie Mead, Ike Williams' manager would be the famous Frankie Palermo, a.k.a. Mr. Gray. Frankie Paloma would also manage Johnny Saxton, among others. But Ike Williams was a special fighter. He defeated such greats as Juan Zorita, Gene Burton, Kid Gavilan. Kid Gavilan was welterweight champion of the world, the Cuban Hawk. Vic Cardell, Sammy Angot. Sammy Angot was a fascinating fighter. He was in there with Armstrong and Bojack and Ike Williams and Jimmy Carter and Petey Cerrone, among others. Willie Pep, you name him, Sammy Angot was in there with him. Bob Montgomery. Ike Williams would take the lightweight championship of the world from Bob Montgomery. Bob Montgomery was a fascinating fighter. Bojack would have his wars and his hands full with Bob Montgomery. Ike Williams would face Luther Slugger White, Lester Felton, Enrique Bolanos, Ralph Zanelli, Fitzy Putin, Bobby Ruffin, Cleo Shane, Jesse Flores. By the way, Bobby Ruffin. Type in Bobby Ruffin, Scrapbook Boxing, and you'll learn about Bobby Ruffin. You can do the same with Bob Montgomery, the same with Kid Gavilan. Ike Williams would also face Jesse Flores, Charlie Sallies, Dynamite Fighter, Cleo Shane, Joe Maselli, Tippy Larkin. Tippy Larkin will lose his title to Bojack. Freddie Dawson, Rudy Cruz, Bojack himself, Willie Joyce, fascinating fighter. Now Ike Williams would meet Bojack July 12, 1948, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And this was a grudge match. Why? Because Bojack had the audacity to throw a beautiful uppercut, and he would knock out Ike Williams' front tooth. Now Ike Williams took that personal because he was a pretty boy. He would walk around the streets in Trenton, New Jersey, and he would have his overcoat, floor shiny shoes, knit shirt, derby hat, beautiful dress pants. And for Bojack to ruin his chances at the nightlife, that was a price that had to be paid. So for the 6 brutal rounds that they fought, Ike Williams went up to Bojack and he threw vicious combinations to Bojack up against the ropes. And Bojack's head would be wobbling around so fiercely that you would think at any moment his head would fly off. It was the most brutal contest in boxing history. They would fight once again March 5th, 1951 in Providence, Rhode Island. That fight went 10 rounds. Bojack got the better of Ike Williams, but Bojack came out victorious. And Ike Williams would have several fights in between that time. Fights with Chuck Davey, Kid Gavilan, just among many. And Bojack would fight fighters such as Henry Armstrong, Tippy Larkin, Fritzy Zivic, Sammy Angot. Till this day, Bojack would hold the record for the most main event fights at Madison Square Garden, 10. But then these two gladiators would fight once again. They would have 2 fights, April 9th and April 12th, 1955, Augusta, Georgia. 10-round draw and a 9th round knockout in behalf of Ike Williams. So you see, when you talk about grudge match, you're talking about Ike Williams and Bojack. Salute to these great lightweights. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Look out for the next grudge match. two great dynamite fighters, Bojack and Ike Williams. No problem champions today. No problem at all. I was blessed to meet both of these fighters. Bojack was kind enough to autograph this for me. Ike Williams was a phenomenal fighter. I met him in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He spent great time with me explaining his life, as well as his ring career, his sparring sessions. He explained to me, there's a different breed of fighters today, young man, is what he said to me. He said, in my day, you had fighters. Well, Mr. Bojack and Ike Williams, after doing years of research, over 40 years, and speaking to hundreds of historians and fighters, I agree with you 100%. Salute to my subscribers. Thanks for hanging in there with me. All great fighters and all great fights will never be forgotten. Shout out to Bojack. Shout out to Ike Williams. Salute.